What's up, guys? My name is Cruzy Collects. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my full quarter-century secret rare collection. This is a custom binder I ordered off of Etsy. I'll leave the shop in the video description if you want to order one of your own. But let's get into it. Right here on the first page, I've got some Egyptian god cards. As you can see, we've got the Legendary Collection 1 promos. Then we've also got the quarter-century Bonanza alternate arts down here. I plan on getting the quarter-century Stampede versions right here in the middle that feature these artworks, but have the playable cards that are legal for tournament use. These promo ones actually can't be played. Page 2 here, you can see we've got a nice Exodia spread with some blue eyes over here. This kind of reminds me of the first episode of the anime when Yugi faces off against Kaiba. Except there wasn't 3 Exodias, right? So a little bit less oppressive than that. Over here on the side, you can see we've got the 8th artwork, Blue Eyes White Dragon from Stampede. We've got the Legend of Blue Eyes artwork from Bonanza. And then we've got another Legendary Collection right here. I say another because this is actually just some extra. On the next page, we've got some more Blue Eyes. So I already had a playset of that one right here, so the 4th guy just kind of fell off onto the other page there, but as you can see, we've got the starter deck artwork here. This is my favorite Blue Eyes artwork, but it just felt right having it next to starter deck Yugi Dark Magician and starter deck Joey Red Eyes. On the other page here, you can see the Legendary Collection promos. We've got a playset of each of those. We've got Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician. Into the next page, we've got some more recognizable, iconic stuff. We've got some Dark Magician Girl up here. We've got a playset of these from the tins. We've got Cyber Dragon, and this kind of bleeds onto the other page here because I had a 4th. Same with Dark Magician Girl. But this one was from Bonanza, I believe. And then down here at the bottom, we've got a playset of Yugioh from the tins. The next page here, you can see we've got that Dark Magician Girl, and then the new artwork, Dark Magician. And then a Red Eyes Black Dragon from Stampede. I'm not sure which artwork this is. I'd probably butcher it if I tried to guess. And then down here we've got some GOAT staples. We got Maneater Bug and Magician of Faith. Elemental Hero Neos. Summon Skull. Crazy what's happening with this card right now. It's kind of going crazy. And Jinzo here. These were some of the first cards I pulled out of Bonanza? Are these Bonanza? Let's see if that's Rarity 3 there. Yep, these were Bonanza. Yeah, so these were some of the first ones I actually pulled out of Bonanza. I knew I wanted a Jinzo, so I was ecstatic to pull that one, but the Summon Skull came as a surprise a little bit later when I saw how spendy it got. So I would not want to pick one of those up now. On the next page here, we've got a little bit of like meta tournament stuff. We've got 2 of the Feet Ash, the original art Effect Veiler. I've got the original art Droll and Lockbird from Rarity Collection 2, and then Sphere Mode and Lava Golem from Rarity Collection 1, as well as Eldritch. Winged Karibo is from a tin, and Dia Bellstar the Black Witch is actually the top pull from Stampede. Yeah, that's Stampede right there. So this was pulled on the channel. I'll actually link that video up in the corner here, but watch that pull for yourself. On the next page here, we've got some Galaxy Eyes, gadgets, and some cuties. So just some cute stuff, I guess. I don't know. You might be wondering what my sorting method is going on here, and to let you know, there's really no method to it other than like what looks good together. But so far, we've only seen monsters. I do have it sectioned out, so we have spells, links, synchros, all that stuff. So they are separated, but my plan is in a future episode to get a new binder that can facilitate all 1,000 QCRs, or almost 1,100 QCRs, 1,090. And we'll actually be slotting them in order of release. So even though I think all of these starter deck cards look great together, that's what this video is for, so I can look back on it and look how pretty it was. But eventually I would like to just categorize every QCR, every single one, in one binder. I think that would be super cool to see. So that's what I'm working towards. We got the Dragon Rulers. I was trying to do like the grown Dragon Rulers right here, and then the baby Dragon Rulers right here. And then we got some Bigfoot and Bigfoot alternate art. Pankatops, Six Samurai. We got Rem Tengu over here. So this is kind of just like a sloppy page. Sorry about that. Just kind of threw some stuff in. We got some gaps. That happens. On this next page here, we've got some water stuff. We've got Abyss Shark and Crystal Shark and Atlantean Dragoons. Then moving down, we've got some other cards that are just kind of floating around. They're all just kind of here just because they're monsters. There's no rhyme or reason for the order. I pulled this card. I'm not sure if it was on camera, but when I did, super happy to pull that one. We got some frogs and toads. And then Silent Swordsman. We're getting some rarity collection too on this page. Now on this page here, you'll see I almost had play sets of each of these, so I just kind of have like empty slots there in case I ever pull them. But we got Parallel Exceed, Secret Six Samurai Hatsume, Mobius the Frost Monarch, Revealer of the Ice Barrier, DD Warrior Lady, and Punishment. Nope, this is Judgment Dragon, isn't it? No, that's Punishment. Okay, Punishment. They look so similar. The other one's just like shaded slightly different, right? Brighter. On this page, we do actually have some play sets, except for this right here. This is an alternate art of Ghost Reaper. We got Night Assailant, Predaplant, Orpheus Scorpio, Apprentice Magician, Nemesis Flag, Nemesis Corridor, playsets of each. Gold, Warlord of the Dark World, Phantom Knights of Silent Boots, and Salaman Great Gazelle, playsets of each. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, Archfiend Eccentric, Medolce Angeli, and Slushy. I wanted to show you guys this card here because my local store, we got a lot of boxes that actually had crimped QCRs. I've got another one here in this binder, but they came like this, and I've heard you can like mail it to Konami and they'll maybe replace it or something, but I don't know. It's not a very expensive card, Slushy, so kind of figured that just keeps us a little bit of a story there, but I will just have a damaged Slushy when I have a full collection of QCRs, I guess. We got Stratos down here. Nice pull there. I was super stoked to pull this one. I think I pulled this a few packs after the Blue Eyes in Bonanza, so that was a fire Bonanza opening there. Then we got the other heroes. Moving on to this page, we've got Rainbow Dragon, Card Trooper, Mathematician, Insector Hornet, Clap Serpent, Astral Karibo. We've got the White Stone of Legend, Blue Eyes Thighs, the Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. Up here we've got the Sky Striker, I believe not alt arts, right? These are the originals, perhaps? Or maybe they all are alt arts. But we got Ray and Rose, Banker's Soul Dr. Madlove, Esper Girl. We got Gaga Magician and Honest, Mystic Piper, Orbital 7, Utopic Onomatopoeia or Pia or something. And then this one I actually got really recently for a very great price. So I had to pick it up. I could not refuse. This is Elzet, Azamine of the White Forest. And then we're going to move away from monsters and into rituals. I only have 4 ritual cards. My one gripe with Quarter Century Secret Rares is that there was not a Relinquished. I feel like Relinquished should have had a Quarter Century Secret Rare. It would have looked great, and it would have rounded out over here somewhere, right there, all of our starter decks. We could have had the original 4 starter decks on Quarter Century with at least their ace cards, right? That would have been cool. For the rituals, I do have Herald of Perfection, Cyber Angel Benton, and Saravis. Kind of falling out there. While that's falling out, I may as well show you guys here. The sleeves I'm using here are Sage's Secret. You can actually find them on Ruxin34's website. These are just the gold ones. And they look great with quarter century secret rares. I think they pair well with that gold text. Just how shiny and parallel everything is. So yeah, those are the sleeves I'm using in this entire binder here. All of these are also double sleeved. I have the Dragon Shield Perfect Fit inner sleeves. And then moving into fusions, we have XYZ Dragon Cannon, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, Gilded Gearfried. I used to play Cyber Dragon, loved Chimera Tech Fortress, sorry. We got Chaos Ancient Gear Golem, Egyptian God Slime, and Thunder Dragon Colossus. Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, Exox Hydra. Funny story about Exox Hydra. I actually picked this card up just like randomly on a whim on TCG Player one day. It was super cheap. I think I got this for like $8, maybe less, maybe like $7, I don't know. But ever since then, it's gone up in price, and as far as I'm aware, it doesn't see too much play like anywhere. So I think it's just QCR speculation, but it kind of leads me to a point about like core sets versus like rarity sets. So Rarity Collection and Bonanza, Stampede, stuff like that, those were kind of just handing out quarter century secret rares. You got 6 per box. Granted, there were some that were harder to pull than others, I understand that, but the core sets, like, I wouldn't even call Battles of Legend a core set, right? But the sets where there was only 25 quarter centuries added with them, those ones were a lot harder to pull. So whenever those were cheap, I liked to just pick them up. That way I knew I had them later down the line. To round out the fusions here, we've got Howitzer, Schuberta the Melodious Maestra, we've got House Dragon Maid. Then we got Guardian Chimera and the Dark Magicians. That's pretty much like the only spread we've got of fusions. I guess it's like 2.5 pages, but moving on, we're going to go right into Synchros. Along the top here, you can see Signer Dragons, and then some other great Synchros along the way. We've got Stardust Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend, Black Rose Dragon, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Black Wing Dragon, and Sujikid's, that guy's name. You know that guy's name. But going back over here, we've got Excel Synchron, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, Black Rose Moonlit. We got 2 of those actually. Psycho and Punisher. That's what I call them, at least. Cosmic Blazar Dragon. The Synchros, I've noticed, are like, I think, the hardest ones to read quarter century secret rare text on. That's the one thing I don't like about quarter century secret rares, is just how hard they are to read sometimes. I do think Starlight has the one up on that. Good for Starlights. But other than that, quarter century secret rare, to me, I liked how common they were to pull, but how scarce they were too. I think they were quite nice with the way that worked. Moving on here, you can see more Rarity Collection cards. Colossal Fighter, Junk Speeder, Ursiella, the Sinister Soul of the White Forest. I actually didn't want to buy a pack of Infinite Forbidden this day. I was going for Rage of the Abyss. They just didn't get it in yet. So I settled, and I grabbed the last 2 packs they had of Infinite Forbidden, and it just so happened we had a quarter century Ursiella in there. So super happy I did. Ever since then, whenever I see Infinite Forbidden, I pick it up. And then here we've got Trishula, Naturia Beast, and Psy Frame Gear. And that's it for the Synchros. So we're going to go right into my favorite rarity in quarter century secret rare, which is actually Xyz. I think Xyz just looks really good. The black on the gold, especially with these gold sleeves. Everything just kind of pops just right, you know. So we're going to start that out with some number 39 Utopia and Utopia Double. Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon. We got Bahamut Shark and Shark Drake. Shark, you know. Going on to this page, we've got 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. I'm looking for a 3rd so I can have a full playset there. And speaking of playset, we've got a playset of number 15 Gimmick Puppet Giant. Salamangreat Blaze Dragon. And we've got 2 of Number 100, Numeron Dragon. I love the way the XC's pages look. Going on this page, we got Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Lieb, the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. I believe this is the alternate art version of this one. Murmel Biscayos, I think, is one of the best looking quarter century Xyz monsters there is. Something about that blue at the attribute. You know, you got the water attribute there, plus his clothes and armor. And then the gold, it just pops. I just love that card. Good card. Slot that back. We got Exo Sisters Magnifica. Kind of has that same color scheme. Looks great. Couch King. The Couch King. Giant Trainer. Leviathan Air Dragon. Or sorry, Leviathan Dragon. That's Leviathan. I'm skipping ahead. Number 17, Leviathan Dragon. Starliege Paladinamo. Ptolemaeus. Cyber Dragon Infinity, 2 of the alternate arts. I'm hoping I can pull one of the regular arts, because I actually prefer the regular art to the alternate. If you want to trade, let me know. Lever, the Sea Dragon, and Eclipse Dragon Ruler of Catastrophes. I saw this at my local card shop, and like I said, when a new core set drops and people are pulling quarter centuries, I'll kind of wait for the price to like normalize a little bit. But when I see a good price, I think this one was only like $27. I'll just pick that up because I know those are going to be harder to pull than any of the like rarity collection stuff. Moving on to the next page here, we're getting into the links. So on the link side of things, we've got Borolo Dragon. We got Decode Talker. And I believe, yeah, we actually have 4 Decode Talkers. Code Talker Inverted and Firewall Dragon. Sky Striker Ace Hayate and Sky Striker Ace Shizuku. We got Mech Knight Crusader. Win the Wind Charmer. Here's a Relinquished Anima. See, I wish we got the just regular Relinquished, the Ritual, right? But we got some Relinquished, I guess. Cherubini and Leak Spider. And then we got Salomon Great Raging Phoenix, Electromite, World Sea Dragons Atlantis, and then we got Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, Unchained Soul of Rage. Now we're moving into the spells. Up here we've got a playset of Monster Reborn. It's classics, you can't go wrong with that. This was so cheap when they dropped. Everybody was just letting go of these. Then we got a playset of Scapegoat, playset of Wave Motion Cannon, playset of Opening the Spirit Gates, Dual Tower. Down here we've got Triple Tactics Thrust, Sky Striker Mobilize, Engage, and 7th Ascension. Here's a page with some classic cards. You'll probably recognize these if you know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! Up here in the top left, we've got Dark Hole and Regeki. Seeing these cards back in the day, you were in for bad time. We got some Reasoning, Giant Trunade, Harpy's Feather Duster. This one is the original artwork out of Early Days collection. I am also looking for the alternate art. Mystical Space Tycoon. Mystical Space Typhoon. Change of Heart. Graceful Charity. And Polymerization. And then on this page here, we've got Reinforcement of the Army. Called by the Grave. Premature Burial. Got a nice little Delinquent Duo. I'm surprised this guy's so cheap right now. It's only $30. I think that's how much like every other version of it is. So if you haven't got one of those already, I'd pick one up. Then we got Trade-In, First Movement, Solo, and Rare Value. It's kind of my Mage page here. Got Mausoleum of the Emperor, Mage Power, Spellbook of Judgment, Magician's Salvation, Seal of Orichalcos, Magicalized Fusion, Rank Up Astral Magic, United We Stand, Card of Demise. These guys they don't fit that magician theme there, but moving on to this other page, we got Trickstar Light Stage, Madolce Salon, and Dragon Maid Hospitality alt art. Six Samurai United, Gateway of the Six, Pirelli, Pretty Memory, Dragon Ravine, Heat Wave, Fire King Island. Lots of spells, lots of spells. We got Small World, Gear Town, Clockwork Knight Spell, not the Link, the new monster. We got 1-for-1 and 1-for-1 alternate art. Toon Kingdom, again, I'm going to kind of gripe about another quarter century I wish there was. Toon World, where's Toon World? Cynet Mining, and then Mass Change. This is one I pulled without really any expectation. I knew it was used in hero decks, but it's been going up in price lately, so I was pretty glad to grab that one before it shot up too much. Then we've got Onomatopoeia. Mementoddlin Bone Party. We just pulled this in a recent video. Go ahead and check that out right there. We got 2 Sol and Luna. Terminal World. Dual Taining. Bingo Machine Go. And then we've got the planets here. We've got Peaceful Planet Calarium, Pressured Planet Raidsoff, and Primeval Planet Perennulia or whatever. I don't know. It's those 3 planets. They're cool. We've got some blank pages here. I was getting a lot of spells for a while, so I left a lot of room for the spells to expand, I guess. Moving into our drafts, we've got a playset of Kunai with Chain, Torrential Tribute, and Horn of the Phantom Beast. Trap Hole, Imperial Order, Trap Trick, Tri-Brigade Revolt, and Dominus Purge. I got on a kick of opening Infinite Forbidden for a little bit, and just so happened to pull Dominus Purge, so super stoked about that. I've just been kind of like hanging out with that one. This is probably in my top 10 most expensive or valuable cards. And it's definitely the most valuable trap QCR for sure. So we got Dogmatic Punishment that I have. Sorry, it's the most expensive one that I own. There's definitely more expensive ones. Dogmatic Punishment, Shadow Schism, Rivalry of the Warlords, and Super Ancient Organism. And then final page here, guys, we've got Ice Barrier, Gotham's Emergency Call, Xyz Universe, Void Trap Hole, Halfway to Forever, The Door of Destiny, and here's our other damaged card, similar to Slushy. It's the last card in the binder, gotta show it off. We got that band in the card, a Mega Crimp, you know? That's Halfway to Forever. We got 2 of them, so it's fine. But let me know, did you guys get any bad quality cards in your QCR sets? And let me know, what was your favorite card in the video today? We're going to go ahead and just kind of flip through it really quick. We got a ton. I believe this binder, last time I valued it, was somewhere around like $3,000. And that's, you know, TCG with all of the shipping included and stuff. So who knows? It's a nice little collection. I do think unique cards, like I said, I don't have a whole lot, but there's a lot of playsets. This binder can hold 540, and it's about full. That being said, though, a lot of these are playsets, so I think individual unique cards, last I counted, was somewhere around like 280 or something like that. And there's 1,090 quarter century secret rares in the entire TCG, so not too close to completing that, but it's going to be a goal here on the channel. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe and like the video. That'll let me know that there's some interesting quarter century secret rares, even though they're no longer being printed, and I will start that series up and hunt them down. So yeah, just going through here really quick one last time, showing you guys everything. Let me know what your favorite card in the video is. Let me know if you have any of these cards and your story about pulling them. And we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Peace.